Hey guys, hope all is well. Coach Mazzoni, trying to get a message to all the 2027s that I'm working with. Obviously, many of you, we text on a regular basis, we get on Zooms on a regular basis, but I just wanted to kind of get a message out to everybody to make sure we're all on the same page here now in September of 2025. Really to talk about what your fall, what your winter of 2025 going into 2026 is going to look like, your goals, your plans for that time of year. So obviously, this time of year, development should be key. Of course, if you're playing on a fall team, great. You still may be doing showcases. Some of you may be playing a second sport, football, soccer, whatever the case is. If that's what you're doing, lock into that. That comes first. But if you are in developmental mode, obviously the first thing you should be having a really strict plan, or at least a plan that you can follow on your strength training, right? Ideally, it's not just going to the gym on your own and kind of doing back and buys, chest and tries. Is merit, of course, to just going to the gym on your own and getting stronger. But if you can do baseball movements, so whether that's full body movements or multi-hinge movements, med ball, core work, obviously there are many places where you can get a proper baseball workout, whether you go there, whether you do remote training. But in 2025, it's more than kind of the old school, just go to the gym and, meander around. You should be on a pretty specific program that's suited to you. And of course, keeping in mind that your mobility is crucial throughout. So whether you do stretching, whether there's mobility within your workouts, whether you throw on every once in a while a yoga, YouTube video just to keep your mobility as something that's really important. It's crucial. Obviously, baseball players are strong, but we're not NFL linemen where we're not mobile, right? And even though NFL linemen could be mobile, they probably don't have, the mobility that we're looking for in terms of baseball. So we want to get stronger. We want to do it really in a good baseball way. Many of you are always working on speed. Obviously, position players are working on speed, and if strength will help. There's really three components to getting faster. Number one, getting stronger. Stronger legs, you'll run faster. Number two, technique. So if you don't run properly and you have the ability to get with a coach who knows what he or she is talking about to help you with your technique, absolutely, that's crucial. But it's the good old fashioned, if you want to get better at something, you do it. And most kids straight up don't sprint and run enough. So if you can set a routine for the week where you're getting 2 or 3 sprint sessions in, this doesn't have to be crazy. This could be at the end of a workout or end of a practice where you're going to do 10 to 12, 30, 40-yard sprints. Again, we get better at what we constantly do. And from the developmental standpoint, the strength standpoint, the weight standpoint, anything that you set goals for and then track will get better. So whether you want to do that in an app, whether you want to do that on a computer, whether you want to do it handwriting it down, having structure to your week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, do this, Tuesday, Thursday, do that, like in a specific thing. Again, you can vary. Things will come up. You don't feel good. You have schoolwork. There's a practice all of a sudden. There's something going on. Totally get it. But to have no structure is really, really difficult. It takes even adults, to thrive without specific structure. And I think everyone does better with structure. In terms of your skill work now, you should constantly, of course, be working on your skill work. Whether if you're a hitter, of course, there's drills to do and T work to do and trying to get your exit velo up, et cetera. But to me, there's also something that's lacking in the modern training world is people are working on their swing, but not as much working on hitting. What does that mean? Well, swinging is the act of swinging the bat and hitting the baseball really hard. Hitting is hitting various speeds in various locations off a real arm as much as possible. So whatever you can do to get better as a hitter, that's really, really important. I just had a conversation with a coach last night talking about sometimes in games at any level, really good hitters will hit pitches where they're fooled. They're a little out front. It's maybe a little bit out of the zone, a little low, a little high, but they still produce a hit on it or a barrel. Why? Because they're good hitters. They actually have good bat to ball skills. So in your process of working on getting stronger and getting your swing the way you want it and getting your exit velo up, make sure you're working on becoming a better hitter with your timing and ability to hit all pitches. If you do run well, I highly encourage you over this developmental time to work on your base hit bunting. If you're a middle infielder, if you're an outfielder, base hit bunting is a skill that's kind of dead in high school. It's pretty much dead in travel ball. It's dying in the pros. In college baseball, base hit bunting is still alive and well. and could be the difference of getting you recruited over somebody else. In terms of pitchers, obviously you're trying to get stronger, and we all know, let's not kid ourselves, velocity is important. You probably have a goal this offseason to get your velocity up. Understandable, right? But also keeping in mind that your pitchability and your command and your ability to throw 3 pitches at any time is ultimately what's going to make you great. Now, I get it. If you throw 82 right now and you have complete pitchability, but you got a friend that throws 89 and he's getting more calls than you are, yeah, you want to get the velocity. But the reality is the guys that succeed at the next level are guys that have pitchability. And to me, pitchability is the finesse of being able to throw any pitch pretty much at any time. So that's something that could be worked on. You can work on your command in a number of ways. You can use command balls that Driveline has. You can play catch all the time and try to throw to a target. You can even throw plyos and try to locate a plyo into a wall. It's better than just randomly throwing the plyo. So I'm not here to tell you velocity is not important. I'd be lying if it wasn't. But trying also to work on your command. And I had this conversation with a coach just yesterday, and we were saying that sometimes you're talking to a coach and they're telling you about 4 of the pitchers on their team, right? And they go back and forth and tell you about each one. And, hey, this one's got really best velocity. What coaches will often say to that travel coach or that high school coach is, who in a big spot is your best guy? You got one game to win. Who are you giving the ball to? It could be the guy with the highest velo, but often it's the guy who is the most reliable, trustworthy, that is most consistent. And sometimes or often that is not the most, highest velocity guy. So keep that in mind as you're working on that piece. The other thing, which does not get much attention in the fall and the winter, but is a big thing in the spring, is your mental game. You should be working on your grit, your mental toughness, your ability to deal with adversity, because God knows baseball's got a ton of adversity. Whether it's recruiting, whether it's in-game, there's all kinds of difficulties. It's a tough skill sport. So there are a variety of ways to develop your mental game. One would be straight up compete all the time. Anytime you're doing any drill, anything, compete with someone, compete with a teammate. If the coach sets up that competition, great. If not, set it up on your own. Competitiveness builds that skill. Secondly, I'm sure there are Instagram places to follow and podcasts to listen to that really will help you develop your mental toughness for sure. Me, 56 years old, I'm still a little old school. I think there's a bunch of great books that can help you develop in this regard. Rob Vaughn, head coach at Alabama, talks about to his team all the time. And when he does presentations to college coaches, he talks about books that he's read that helped him develop as a coach and helps his team develop as players. So you can study, research, go to Amazon, go to your high school library, go to your local library and do some research. It's great to have a book. And again, I know there's more interesting things to do sometimes than read a book, right? It's easy to just watch TV. It's easy to get on your phone. But maybe if you read 5 or 10 pages at the end of the night, it will impact you. And it also definitely will set you up to go to sleep. Reading at night is a fantastic way to put your phone away and read and get tired and go to sleep. In addition, this is a big time to be locking in on your academics. Same thing with your strength development and all your development. It's good to have a plan. I will study these days at these times. Remove your phone. Have goals for your grades. And I'm not here to tell you that academics are more important in baseball. Yeah, I'm sure your parents would like your academics to be more important in baseball, but both should be equally important. I will just tell you from experience, it's not a fun place to be as a recruit when a coach likes you, sees your transcript, and that's the end of the recruiting process. You will wish that you would have worked harder on your academics to have more options. And then number 2, the better your grades are, the more money you will get in an academic standpoint from a school, which will make it more affordable, right? You may not be thinking about the cost of college, but I can tell you right now, your parents are. I got 2 kids in college, and I think about how to knock off a Chase Bank to pay for it. So money matters. Another thing, this kind of relates now a little bit more to recruiting, which we're about to get into, but when you have the time, fall, winter, to visit some schools, great. If it happens to be with a coach where you're getting recruited, fantastic. If it's just a straight up tour at the school, fine. If it is just you visiting 3 or 4 schools on a random weekend day, parking your car and going to drive around on your own, that has a lot of merit too. One of the difficult parts from my side of guiding a high school athlete on the recruiting process is they haven't been to schools. So the more you can kind of see what you like, the setting, the size of the school, the location, all these various things, obviously the facilities, the more you'll be educated on ultimately what is the right place for you. So when you have that opportunity to pop in and visit some schools, I highly advise you take it. Now, specifically on the recruiting, of course, if you're playing, as I said earlier, if you're playing another sport, that takes priority. If you are playing on a fall team, certainly by all means, try to compete, have fun, develop, get some video when possible. If you're going to some events and camps and whatnot, this is something we should have discussed. And I'm going to prep reaching out to the coach ahead of time and reach out to the coach after as well. Video. At this point, most of you should have a 2-minute video, 3-minute video, which is basically your calling card that has been sent to me that I will use to send out to college coaches. On my YouTube channel, I probably sent you, or you've seen the way the ideal recruiting video should be. So if you haven't seen that yet, please go to the YouTube channel and take a look, or just send me a message and I'll text it to you. In addition, this is a good time of year to go to camps, whether it's fall or winter, time to go to camps specifically at the schools you're interested in. It's a way to show that you're interested in that school, and it could move the recruiting process really quickly forward. But it could also get you feedback. Getting feedback is crucial in this process because it helps you know what you need to do to develop, how other people see you, and maybe you're misguided in the area that you're looking at, and you have to redirect the school that schools that you're looking at. So camps are ideally, most of the schools you're looking at have some type of fall or winter camp. Obviously, when it comes to pitchers, if you're not ramped up by the time they have a winter camp, then either don't attend or go and just try to make a relationship with a coach, not throwing all out. Many coaches, I've run many of these camps as a college coach. And as the pitching coach, I would say to the guys when they came to the camp in January, I know your max velo is 85 miles an hour. If I see a pitch over 80 today, I'm kicking you off the mound, because who needs to get hurt in January when you have a long season and summer ahead? So coaches are cognizant of this. And for that reason, some coaches run camps without pitchers there. But the reality is recruiting is a relationship business. If you can get to meet a coach, start developing a relationship, maybe he's not going to recruit you the day in January, but he's now going to track you in high school, or he's going to see you in the summer. It's really, really important. So hopefully that helps you understand what you should be doing now in the fall and as it leads to, into the winter time. So again, I hope that helps. For those of you, anyone that's seeing this video has no idea who this old guy is. I'm 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞, 30-year college baseball coach that runs College Baseball Advisors. My website is collegebaseball.advisor.com. Feel free to reach out if I can help in any way. Thanks so much, all.